Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to learn how to make a flay gown with a built-up Queen Anne's neckline and flowered designs. This dress is inspired by AB stitches, and without further ado, let's get started. Now we're going to start by drafting the front. So as you all can see, I'm marking my start line and I'm marking it at 2 inches. I'm going to use 1.5 inch for my Queen Anne, for my built-up height, and 1/2 inch for turning the neckline over. Now from that start line, I came down to mark the chest point, the bust point, under bust point, waist point plus 1/2 inch allowance. And after marking all that, we'll go ahead and rule these points together with our ruler. Now after that, I came in by a neck width of 3 inches and half of shoulder measurement of 8 inches. I marked the 8 inches on the start line and chest line and connected them together. On the start line, I came down on that shoulder line by 1/2 inch and connected it to our neck width. Now, before marking our shoulder joining allowance, I came up from the neck width by 2 inches, which is the height of our neck, built-up neckline with 1/2 inch allowance, and then I'm using a curve to connect this height to the shoulder. Now that I've connected that, it's now time to mark our 1/2 inch joining allowance, because our shoulder is joined to the built-up collar, so we have to draft this collar before marking our allowance. So that's what I did, and then I marked my 1/2 inch allowance above it. Now after that, I came down from the shoulder slope by half of the armhole measurements, and on the middle of this our straight line, I came in by 1/2 inch. On the chest line, I mark 1/4 of the bust measurement, and I'm connecting all these points to draft our armhole curve. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and draft our dart. Now from the midpoint, I'm coming in by 4 inches and marking it all around. The nipple to nipple measurement I'm working with is 3.5, but because I'm drafting on a fabric, I'm going to mark 4 inches. After that, I went ahead to locate the midpoint of just the shoulder, and from that midpoint, I'm connecting it to our dart line. So after that, on this dart line, I'll come inward by 1/2 inch, and on the other side, I'll come by 1.5 inch, which is 2 inches in total. Then on the bust line, I came up and down by 1/2 inch to prevent any form of bulge on that region. Now using my curved rule, I'm connecting from that 1/2 inch to our darts. Now the next thing I went ahead to do was on the midpoint of our armhole, I marked it down and I'm connecting it to the 1/2 inch above our bust line. Now this is a princess dart, and after marking that, I came above and below that line by 1/2 inch. Now on the line below, I'm going to come outward by 1 inch to replace this dart that we're taking in the armhole, and I'm connecting it down to our chest line. So now that we're done with that, the next thing we're going to do is to draft our Queen Anne's neckline. Now before drafting that, you have to decide how high you want your chest line to be. If you want it to be exactly at the chest line, you don't have a problem, but me, I came up by 1 inch because my client wants it to be that high. Now after coming up by 1 inch, I'm going to connect from our neck width directly to that dart leg, as you all can see. Now you can use your curved rule to connect it, and I advise that you use the fullest part of your curve so that you will have that defined curve on the neckline. Now after that, I went ahead to mark the round body measurement. On the chest and bust line, we'll mark 1/4 of the bust measurement plus 1 inch for the dart we took on the armhole, plus our sewing allowance for the dart, as well as sewing allowance for the dress. On the waist, we'll take 1/4 of the waist measurement plus this dart intake, sewing allowance for the dart, and sewing allowance for the dress. Now on our half length, I came up by 1 inch, came inward by our 1.5 inch sewing allowance, and I'm blending it back to the half length. This is to make sure that the front blends with the back because the waist of our front and back is not the same. So when cutting, this is how we're going to cut it out. But before cutting, I went ahead to add allowance on this chest region. Now I'm adding half an inch sewing allowance on both the Queen Anne's neck and the chest. But after much thought, I went ahead to clean the allowance on the Queen Anne's neckline and I left the allowance on just the chest line. Now, when drafting patterns normally, we do mark 3 inches for our width or whatever our neck width may be. But when sewing that 3 inches pattern, we actually sew it inwards again with half an inch allowance. So with that in mind, I actually just left the Queen Anne's neckline at 3 inches, and when we turn it over, we'll turn it with what we already have. So if we're turning with half an inch, we also need half an inch to join the shoulders together. So I added extra half for the shoulders and I'm just blending it back to the shoulders as you all can see. Now this option right now is if you want your neckline to sit properly with ease without any form of strain on your neck. But if you want it to sit on that 3 inches, you can actually come in from your Queen Anne's neckline by that half an inch, okay? Now for the back, I'm going to mark 2 inches for the start line and then I'll connect it with my ruler. On the side now, I'm going to come in by 1 inch for our zipper allowance and I'm going to mark that all the way to the end. Now after that, I'll go ahead and mark the chest line, the bust line, the back waist line, and half an inch for allowance. So I'm going to mark that again, the chest, the bust, the back waistline, and allowance. So I'm going to connect this with a ruler. Now the next thing I went ahead to do was to come in by the neck width. Now for this back neck width, we're not turning this over like the front. So the neck is just high up. There is no option to turn it over. So I just came in by 3.5 inch, almost as if we have turned it over. So instead of 3 inches for the width, I just marked 3.5 because we're not turning it over. Okay? So now the next thing I went to do was to mark half of the shoulder measurements on both the start line and the chest line and I connected it together. After that, I joined the high up neckline to our shoulder. On the shoulder line, I came down by half an inch, connected it to our neck width, and from our width up to our built-up collar, I'm going to add half an inch for joining allowance of the shoulders. Now from our slope, I came down to mark half of our armhole measurements, and on that point, I went ahead to mark quarter of the chest measurements, and I connected all these points to draw our armhole curve. Now on the waistline, we're going to go ahead and remove any form of bulge. So I came in from 1 inch on the waistline and I connected it to the top. After that, I'm just withdrawing our zipper allowance line so that it will follow the slanted line. Now for this back, we're not going to be drafting a dart, so I'll just go ahead and mark the round body measurements. On the chest and bust line, we'll mark quarter of the bust measurements plus our sewing allowance. On the waistline, we'll mark quarter of our waist measurements plus our sewing allowance. Our zipper allowance is already on the side and all our measurements that we took now was from the zipper allowance line. So after that, I went ahead to cut it out. Now for the down of this dress. For the down part, I've gone ahead to fold the fabric in 4. And this fold, the back is folded separately and the front is also folded separately because I wanted the zipper allowance for the back on the side. Now I said this was a flay dress, but we're going to draft an A-line because our fabric is not enough. If you want a tutorial on flay dress, I will attach that on the description. Now on the start line, I went ahead to mark quarter of the waist measurements plus allowance as you all can see. Now from the start, I'm going to go ahead and mark the full length of dress that I need and allowance half an inch sewing allowance under. So as you all can see, I've marked the full length and our allowance underneath. So I'm just marking this again so that I can get a straight line all the way across the fabric. Now after marking that, I'm also going to come down by 1 inch below this our length, because we're going to blend the length of the back so that it will not be shorter at the end of the day. So we're going to get to that later. Now on the full length, I just went ahead to mark ×2 of quarter of our hip measurements. I added 1 inch for allowance after that, and from that mark, I'm just going to connect it to the waist mark. Okay, so my ruler is not long enough, so I'm going to use my tape to trace a straight line from the hem to meet the waist. Now after tracing it, I'm just using my ruler to highlight these lines. Now after highlighting the line, I went ahead to measure on the hip point to make sure that what we have there can accommodate our hip. It was enough, but I just added it by 1 inch just to give it that ease. And I'm just blending the line back to our full length. Now on the waistline, we'll come down by ½ an inch from the start and connect it back to the start line just to make sure that our stomach sits properly, right? Now after that, we'll add ½ an inch sewing allowance on the top of the start line. And when we're done with that, we'll go ahead and cut out this pattern. So while cutting, as you all can see, I started by cutting the back, and when I was done, I went ahead to cut the waist of the front. So on the full length, I went ahead to cut out the front, as I cut out the 1 inch from the front. Now for the back, that's where we need the 1 inch. So I came in by our sewing allowance and I blended it to the 1 inch. And after that, I will just go ahead and cut it out. Now for our sleeve, this is just going to be a straight long sleeve. What do I mean? So from the start, I came down to mark our cap's height. From the cap's height, I connected a straight row to the start. On that straight row, I located the midpoint. From the midpoint, I connected a curve to the top, inverted my curve and connected it to the end. Now this cap's height is my bicep measurements plus 1 inch for ease. This is on a fold of 4, so quarter of the bicep measurements plus 1 inch for ease. The same measurements we have on the bicep is what we marked at the end of the sleeve. But at the end, I came in by ½ an inch and connected it to the bicep. So it's just like a straight sleeve. It's not fitted, it is just straight. So after that, I'm just cutting this out, as you all can see. Now for the sewing, we're going to place the front sides together and sew, as well as the lining. For the back, there is no darts. So we're going to sew just the up. We're not turning the shoulder, this curved shoulder part, just the up, leave the curved shoulder part, and then turn the sides with just 0.1 inch on the sides, okay? So these bands now that I have cut out, these are what I'm going to use for the flowery designs. Now on my sleeve, I marked 5 inches from the hem. That's where I'm going to attach the flowers for the sleeve. Now for the flowery designs, I'm just going to go ahead to mark scallop shapes on this band just to give it kind of like a flower design. So I started by marking 1.5 inch and connecting it point to point. But after a while, I just started connecting the scallop without measurements. So the same way I do for the up is the same way I'm going to draft for the down. Now, after drafting, this is what we have. Now, please take note that there are 2 of this band and we're going to cut them together. Now, after cutting, I'm just going to place these right sides facing each other and I'm going to sew from one side all the way to the other side and I'll turn this over. So after turning this over, you see this mark that I marked on the sleeve. I'm going to gather this and sew it on that mark. So the same way I do for this is the same way I'm going to do for the other sleeve as well. So as you all can see, I've gone ahead to sew the scallops designs together. I've also run a loose stitch on the middle of this. And as you all can see, I have gathered it up. So after gathering, I'm going to go ahead and sew it on the mark. Now for our front, I've gone ahead to sew it down and also turn it with a lining. Remember that on this our built-up collar, we left 1 inch, half for turning of the collar and half for joining of the shoulders. So I've turned the collar with half and half is still left, half an inch. For the back neckline as well, we're also going to stop half an inch before the shoulders. So here I'm just placing the front inside the shoulder of the back, and we're going to stitch them down together like this. So the same way what we do for this side, we're also going to do for the other side. Now as you all can see, I'm done joining the shoulders, and on the chest region I went ahead to add that same flowery designs and try to make sure that your sewing stitch does not appear on the lining. So sew your flower before joining your lining to the flay, the A-line part of your dress. So you can see at the back, I have added my zip and I have joined everything together. So the last thing you will do is just to get your sleeve and join it with your dress and sew down the sides. So yeah, this is what we have after sewing them together. You can see that the dress is looking pretty. It is giving what it should. So yeah, this is it for our tutorial. If you found it helpful, please like, comment, subscribe and share. Thank you.